Raging Vladimir Putin could target Britain's defence chiefs after the UK agreed to hand Storm Shadow missile blueprints to Ukraine. Ahead of his first overseas trip since entering number 10, Burnham pledged to give Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky information on the British components on Storm Shadow missiles, so that Kyiv can manufacture the weapon itself. Kremlin mouthpiece Dmitry Peskov reacted with fury, accusing Britain of participating in the war. It comes days after Russia warned the UK there would be consequences.
There is concern. I mean, this is, espionage is really the way that Russia has conducted, a lot of its activities for many, many years. And of course, Putin himself was originally a spy, so he understands this sort of world. We have been in a hybrid war for some time. You look back to 2006 when Litvinenko was murdered in London. Other assassination attempts, and I'm talking to you from Salisbury, where the Russian Secret Service tried to kill the double agent Sergei Skripal. We've heard of numerous cyber attacks in the UK and across Europe, a number of sabotage and bombings that have been directly associated with the Russian Secret Service. So I don't think anything particularly changes here. But of course, the propaganda and disinformation peddled by the likes of Peskov, the official spokesman of Russia, you would expect no less from him. It seems clear that Russian proxies or Russian Secret Service have been trying to target some key European defence leaders. Now, what one assumes that might also be the case in the UK. However, I expect these leaders are well protected. And we know that the British Secret Service, MI6 and MI5, and also the police counter-terror organisation will no doubt also be looking at this very, very carefully and very closely. And certainly, the capabilities of the British Secret Service seem to be rather more effective than the Russians. So I don't think anybody will be blasé about this. And I'm sure that those leaders of those key companies will make sure that they are protected as best they can be. At times of war, people in key positions are, their security is absolutely paramount. But we know a lot about the Russians. We know how they act. We know that they use their secret service for espionage and assassinations and other subterfuge. So those key executives will know that they are potentially targets, and I'm sure each individual country will make sure they can do all they can to protect them. And certainly when it comes to the United Kingdom, I'm very confident that the UK security forces, Secret Service, MI5, MI6, and the police are the best in the world. And I expect, although there will be concern, there will also be confidence that these people can be kept safe.
European defence CEOs supplying weapons to Kyiv have found themselves in the crosshairs of Russian spooks since Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine. Earlier this year, German police foiled an assassination plot targeting Stefan Truman, the CEO of German drone manufacturer Donetsk. They were tipped off by a foreign intelligence service and arrested 2 suspected attackers who were caught filming his home and company headquarters. The case was reminiscent of a similar plot against Armin Pappen, the CEO of the German defense giant Rheinmetall, 2 years ago. Russia appeared to be targeting him for the company's role in supporting Ukraine's war effort. Pappinger has had bodyguards ever since, and Truman is now believed to be under police protection. Germany has been plagued with threats this month, from a drone laden with explosives being found near a fleet of Ukrainian cargo planes, to a stash of Russian-linked weapons being discovered in a Berlin forest. Britain's defence chiefs could now find themselves looking over their shoulders as revenge for supplying the Storm Shadow missile blueprints. Kremlin Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Russia would target and destroy facilities producing the Storm Shadow missile in Ukraine.
I am determined that we will work together to deliver the support you need, Mr. President, stronger than ever. That means not just air defence, but stopping Russia launching their missiles in the first place, with sanctions that cut off their military supply chain. This is the moment to keep up the pressure on Russia. The moment to squeeze their ability to fund this illegal war. This is how we will speed up their realization of something we all know already, that Russia cannot win this war. And despite Russia's outrageous threats to my country, we will continue our support for Ukraine's defense.
The United Front will no doubt be putting Putin and his cronies increasingly under the cloche as they struggle to fund the war. Despite the threats, Hamish said sharing information on storm shadows is a really important step forward for Ukraine to start building the missiles.
These missiles have been incredibly effective at attacking key military sites and other Russian government institutions up to about 150, 200 miles into Russia. So very, very capable cruise missiles, and something that Ukraine has been asking for some time. So it's a good move. It's rather a shame this didn't happen sort of some time ago. But psychologically, I think will be a really big boost for the Ukrainians, and also for the Russians, who will understand that they will be under more direct attack from these highly effective cruise missiles. It certainly gives it a significant advantage. What we've seen over the last couple of years is the incredible development of the Ukraine defence industry and their ability to wind up production, far quicker and far more effective than perhaps, we could do in the UK or elsewhere, because, they are at war, they're on a war footing. And one assumes that they'll be able to make a considerable amount of these cruise missiles. France has already, I believe, said that they will provide 300 of these missiles to the Ukrainians. And if they can start constructing and manufacturing themselves, then one would expect them to ramp up. I think the key thing is that these are highly effective cruise missiles. They hug the ground, so they're very, very difficult for the Russians to intercept. They have a very powerful warhead that actually can penetrate deep underground to destroy ammunition dumps and the like. So, yeah, they are a significant addition to the Ukrainians' military capability, not least because the Russians know that they have great difficulty knocking them down. So, and I think, the underlying message, I'm sure, coming out of the coalition of the willing, led by the British and the French, is that other Western governments should follow suit.